it is. If you work every day for the semester, I'm going to take you out to get pizza. So this is a horrible thing. It must be horrible if they got to pay me to work. If you don't, I'm going to kick you out of the class. So I'm trying to threaten or bribe students into behaving ways that I'm really saying, you don't want to behave that way. Like, here's what we do so often. Anybody going to be an elementary teacher in here? No? Elementary teachers are the best. Oh, my little sister. There you go. All right. So we do this, like, if you read a bunch of books this semester, then I'll give you an ice cream party or something like that. At the end of the semester, you read 1,000 pages, you get an ice cream party. What am I saying about reading? There's no value in reading in and of itself. Reading is a very undesirable thing to do, and you would never want to read ever, unless somebody forced you to. And so then this semester, if you read 1,000 pages, I give you ice cream. Next semester, if you read 1,000 pages, can I give you ice cream again? It won't motivate as much. I got to give you something better, right? So they did this study, University of Illinois, 1984. I was calling it the Kefir Study. 3 groups of students. So the first group, they said, kefir is like this liquid yogurt. Drink the kefir. The second group, they said, if you drink the kefir, we'll get you movie tickets. And then the third group, they said, if you drink the kefir, like, you can do it, you're the best, come on, I know you can do it, you're so, like, oh my gosh, that's awesome how you're drinking the kefir. So really praising the kids. What we do in the class, right? Positive, positive, positive. What group do you think drank the most kefir? The positive one? The ticket one? What we should do, like it's like a positive one? Cheer. Positive one? How about ticket one?
Movie tickets, yeah.
What about drink the kefir? These 2 drank the most. Okay? So then there's the evidence, right? Reward them and you motivate them. That's what we got to do. Do whatever works. Well, they come back a month later and they interview the 3 groups of kids. And they say, hey, would you consider drinking some kefir? How do you feel about kefir? The first group, he says, kefir's pretty good. I like it, Can I get some kefir? Hook me up. So he drinks his kefir. Second group and third group both hate kefir. They want nothing to do with it. The only thing they're concerned about is what's in it for me. You ever seen that? Kindergarten, kids excited, starry-eyed, all excited about school. 12th grade, you got this awesome presentation. It's like social justice, like we're going to change the world. We're going to do something for our community. And then any questions? Hand goes up. What's the question? How much is it worth? Is this going to count for my grade? How many points am I going to get? That's all they care about, right? It's all about the points because that's what we taught the kids, that the points are the only thing that matters. It's all about. So how do we do that? So now, man, Ben, you're really making us feel bad today because you're telling us don't punish the kids and then don't give them like positive reinforcement. Like, what are we supposed to do? Well, here's the reason why those methods don't work. Because we're not working with rats, right? Most of our, all of our programs for classroom management and student discipline are based on these behavioral sciences are like old school behavioral science, old school, before there was even like neuroscience. Pavlov's dogs, Skinner's rats. But we're not working with rats, we're working with children. And children are so much more complex than rats, as we found out right from the beginning. When you listed all those causes for discipline problems, it's much more complex than like ringing a little bell or like, bringing something to extinction or whatever, It's way more complex because we're working with children. So what works? A buck wild, crazy, radical approach. That's what's going to work. Now, any math teachers in here? What's radical mean? So, roots. We work with, when I talk about radical in math, we're talking about getting to the root of the problem, right? If you have something with the radical, you're meaning let's get to the root of the problem. Let's stop treating symptoms. Let's get to the root of the issues here. Let's take an approach that gets to the roots. Let me give you a little metaphor to help you understand this. Let's say we got to move away from short-term solutions, long-term teaching. I'm going to skip a couple things. Actually, I can't. I need to, sorry. I wish I could. Okay, so we're going to get to the root of the problem. I got a really good metaphor coming later. So just, wait for it. What are we at? Number 4? Okay, number 4. So let's get to the root of the problem. Let's ask ourselves, what is it that we really want to accomplish with kids? We don't want to get them to be motivated to read by getting movie tickets. What is it that we want our students to have, or to be able to know how to, whatever character traits, to be successful in life? What do they need to be productive, functioning members of society? Write those down on number 4, and we're going to talk about those together. I'm just going to say this before anybody raises their hand, because I'm sure this is number 1 on everybody's list, is like, Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, memorizing like how to derive a quadratic equation, right? Quadratic formula. So besides those, just cross those out for a second. What do we want students to know and be able to do to be successful in life? Yes?
Self-reliance and responsibility.
Self-reliance, responsibility. Yes? Integrity and values. Melanie?
Healthy balance on life.
Healthy balance on life. Yes? Confidence. Yes? Independent, critical thinkers? Okay, yes. What was that?
Social skills.
Social skills, yes. Determination. Respect. Yes. Perseverance, good, yes. Good, engagement, yes.
Creative.
To be creative, to be cooperative, to know how to work in a team. Chris?
A goal or a set of goals.
To have a goal, to know what a goal is, and to know how to work towards it. All right, so here's some things that I wrote, very similar to what you wrote. Integrity, be a risk taker. Okay, so here's a follow-up question. Are these things as important as academics?
No.
Who says they're not as important as academics? Okay, you need to get out of here right now. No, I'm just kidding. For life. So yeah, you're gonna say. So do you really think that, Chris, or what were we gonna say?
I truly do think that, because even this semester I'm sitting in an economics classroom and I'm teaching economics to these seniors, and at the end of the day, some of them are gonna get A's, B's, C's, D's, whatever they're gonna get. But I know that their success in life is not going to determine if they got an A or a D in economics.
That's right.
It's the skills that I teach them while they're there.
Oh, good. So you're agreeing with what I'm saying. I thought you were disagreeing with me.
You might have framed the question.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So you're saying these things are as important as academics?
No, they're more important.
Oh, they're more important. Okay, so we all say they're as important. Who says that they're... Sorry. No, that's my bad. It's probably me. Who says these things are more important than academics? Anybody say they're more important? Okay, so we all agree they're at least as important. I think we might all agree that they're more important than academics. So if these are more important than academics, if this is more important than understanding Reaganomics, right? Is this more important than academics? How do we try to teach these to students in our schools? What do we do?
Hopefully you guys do exercises where these things come out.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah.
What do we do? How do we try to teach these skills to students normally? Let me tell you what we normally do in schools, okay? I got a little bit of, I only got 8 years. Some people got, but I got some experience in schools. So, and we've all been in schools, right? We've been indoctrinated since kindergarten. This is how school's done. So I think we all got a lot of experience in school. But here's how we normally do it. Like if you have a really good, innovative principal, maybe you're in an elementary school, he'll get on the morning announcement and he'll say, "Good morning, boys and girls. This is your principal, whatever. Today, this week's character trait is integrity. It's honesty. And here's the quote for the week, when in doubt, tell the truth," by Mark Twain. So when I come around this week and I see you, I want you to be able to tell me that quote. Okay, so remember that, kids. When in doubt, tell the truth. That's how we teach it. Or we have some assembly 3 times a year or twice a year. Or we have some ASB that impacts 2% of the kids. Or character leaders that impacts 1% of the kids. It's all on the periphery. Nothing really gets to the core. Imagine if we tried to teach academics that way. Here's your algebra equation for the week, boys and girls. Good morning. 3x plus 5 equals negative 12. Remember that this week. You can do it. How would our kids really have a good grasp on the academics? Would they have a genuine understanding of it? Or would they just have a surface level knowledge that really didn't help them in life? That's what they would have. And so this is what we do in schools. So why do we do that? I think some of us don't understand the importance of these, but now as we talk about it, we go, "Oh man, that's a good reminder, it's a good refresher to me." Like Teddy Stotter's teacher, I'm not teaching math, I'm teaching children. I'm not a math teacher, I'm a teacher first. And then sometimes there's a lot of pressures on us, right? We're so focused on tests and different things like that, that we forget why we're really here, what we're really here to do. So how do we help students acquire these skills? I think my really good analogy, my metaphors, remember the one you're waiting for? I think it's coming up. It's coming up in a second. So it starts with this question. We've been asking the wrong questions. That's why we're getting radically incorrect, well, not radically incorrect, sorry, just really bad answers. We're coming up with really bad solutions because we're always asking, what do I need to do to get these kids to do what I tell them to do? That's all we're asking. That's surface level, only symptoms. What we really need to ask is what we just did right now. What do these students really need? And from there, asking the right question, almost more important than whatever our answer is, we're going to start to come up with some good solutions. So here's the analogy. It's really good, okay? 3 guys walk into a doctor's office. It's not a joke. For reoccurring headaches. One walks out with a pair of glasses. The second walks out with a modified diet. And the third walks out with an appointment to get a brain tumor removed. First one, why did he have reoccurring headaches? He had vision problems. Second one, he had food allergies that gave him headaches. Third one, I'm having some serious headaches repeatedly because I got a gigantic tumor in my head. 3 radically different solutions for the exact same symptoms. But what do we do in school? Here's what you all have headaches. I don't care what your excuse is. Don't give me excuses. You got headaches, you get Tylenol. Everybody gets Tylenol. We gotta be fair. We gotta be equal, right? Third strike, everybody, you're talking in class, whatever, you're gonna get the same consequence, the same punishment in reality. Would you trust a profession, or how much would you trust a profession that says, you guys are all getting Tylenol? Don't give me excuses. I wanna be fair. I can't play favorites. Would you trust that profession? Would you even go to them to give you some help? Well, unfortunately, that's what we do in schools all the time, right? We say we want to be fair. We don't want to play favorites. We don't want to spend extra time. Because the guy walking out with a modified diet, how much does that cost the doctor? Like information? How about the one getting the brain tumor removed? That's not fair. Look at all that money you're spending on him. Look at all that time. But it is fair. So, different researchers, this is number 5, and it's 3 basic needs of all children. You want to write these down on the heading on the top, and then we're going to get some definitions. We're going to use this at the end. So Linda Darling Hammond, she's a Stanford professor. She researches international trends in education. She came up with these 3 things. Independently, this guy right here, Alfie Kohn, he talks about, he's kind of like parenting, student discipline. He's a little bit, he's kind of extreme in some ways, but he came up with these 3 things. These people wrote this really good book, Discipline with Dignity. They came up with these 3 things. Blankenstein, he wrote a book called Failure is Not an Option, all about making sure, closing the achievement gap, every student is able to succeed. He came up with 3 things. Deci and Ryan, 2 university researchers, psychologists, came up with these 3 things, all independently. They all came up with the same 3 things. Some of them a little bit different terminology, but here's the 3 things. Autonomy, that's the top left. And the middle one, belonging. And then the third one is competence.